Okay, okay. Okay, there we go. Fix that, okay. Alright. Alright, okay, I'm back. So, okay, I'm back. Had some issues right a minute ago for a second. Sorry, guys, I'm eating some ice cream. Okay. Waiting for a few people to come up in here this evening. Yeah. Alright, so I'm gonna be live tonight for a little while. Just, talk about this pretty dangerous and significant severe weather outbreak, tornado outbreak that's going to happen on the 15th, and I'm also going to talk about the 14th as well. Because might as well. Okay. As well. Okay, you hear me okay, that's good. Alright, so this is the 0Z of the HRRR model. It's showing some pretty nasty storms. It's a little bit messy, but showing some pretty nasty. Showing some pretty nasty, looks pretty similar. I'll go back. A pretty nasty looking setup here. Let me go to significant tornado parameter. Wow, that's pretty significant. Get it? Significant tornado. Okay, I'm done. But in reality, this isn't funny. Okay. Alright, so some pretty very significant numbers up on here. And on the 3 kilometer name, it's actually a bit worse. I'll show y'all real quick. No, not my bad. Yeah, 3 kilometer name, the 0Z is insane. Like, off the charts, significant tornado parameter, like worst case scenario for a tornado outbreak there is possible. Like at this point, it's not even funny anymore. Very serious issue going on down in these areas. I shall move up real bit right here. Okay. A little bit better. Okay. Yeah, I know the lighting isn't the best, but whatever. Oh well. It is what it is. That's very significant. Holy crap. Welcome to stream, everyone. I'm actually doing live weather forecast for upcoming tornado outbreak in the deep south in Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama this evening. A very unfortunate setup going on right now. The SPC may issue a high risk starting tomorrow, and this is a rare day 3 outlook. It goes up to moderate risk only, and that's maxed, so that's pretty significant. Very good confidence in myself and the Storm Prediction Center, excuse me. So pretty much anyone within the hatched red area or hatched 45% purple pink area, or purplish area, excuse me, has the risk of some very long track violent tornadoes, some pretty large hail, and some destructive damaging winds. This is for the 15th. of March. This actually is coming up Saturday. Excuse me. And it's pretty significant. It's a very serious situation. About 30 million people under the gun for those long track violent tornadoes. And this is what the third common name is 0Z, the latest run of the computer model, is showing. Some off the chart significant tornado parameters. It's not even like funny. And let's go to what this is what the radar could look like. Hold up, I have to go back. Yeah, that's not even. Go back to 0Z for y'all to show y'all. Okay. Make sure to comment any questions y'all have, and make sure to like below so that YouTube algorithm can push this out to more people. Okay, so where are we at? Okay, so this is Saturday morning. Looks like there's still a little bit of thunderstorm activity. If this decides to work tonight, there we go. In Alabama and parts of Georgia. But then as time goes by, this is early afternoon, massive line of supercells start to fire up, and within the warm sector that forms with no storms, and I'm sure the sun will be poking out through all that, is just a recipe for disaster for this whole region right in here, whole area. A very sad. I hate to say it, but it's looking pretty nasty, very significantly dangerous. I have to be careful with my wording, but it's no longer hype anymore. Once there's no when there's at a point where the models can't uptrend anymore, it's the highest it can go pretty much. So pretty much the worst case scenario for a tornado outbreak to happen, the highest it could go possible that the atmosphere can withstand is the highest possible, and that's what's going on as of right now for these models, which is very significantly unfortunate. And the composite, supercell composite, is off the charts as well. It goes up to 50 and it's showing a 53.8 for a few of these supercells, a 60.7. So that's pretty significant, if you ask me. Even the HERS shows some very significant tornado parameters. Some going up to almost 30, an indice of 30, and it goes up to a 10. That's how significant this tornado threat is. Now this could be, a pretty nasty. I know I feel like I'm repeating myself, but this is just a free, just sort of relaxed off stream. Not too. It's pretty casual, nothing too professional here. Even though I am professionally a forecaster myself, but this evening I'm just gonna lay back, since I'm not like thousands of people watching me or anything. Even though I got 100,000 recently on TikTok views wise for my weather videos. Make sure to check out my TikTok as well. Okay. And this the surface cape are pretty much the stuff that the storms feed on. The amount of it on here, if it's over 2,000 joules, is considered a high amount of cape, and it's showing about right here about 3,500,000 joules, or about almost 3,500,000 joules, which is pretty significant as well for these areas this time of year. And the issue why this is so significant is because of, for example, the moisture. Dew points are even worse in the low 70s at the highest, up to central Mississippi and central Alabama, which is insane. Because since the moisture is overlapping the wind speeds, This is freaking insane. Like, if this doesn't scream a significant, several long track violent tornado, so like the worst tornado outbreak this area has seen in a long time, then I don't know what does. And I'm not saying that to scare people, I'm not saying that to hype things up. I'm just saying how things are. This is reality, unfortunately. That's going to take place on the 15th in 2 days. Like, I do not like to be the person to give y'all bad news, but this is what's unfortunately happening. A very unfortunate situation with this system. And I will be live Saturday and Friday for this thing. Make sure to comment any questions you'll have in the chat and I'll answer them on here. Okay, so with the moisture overlapping with all that shear and the helicity is insane of drop helicity tracks are pretty significant. This is the her showing a few, like a lot of several storms here. So this is pretty nasty situation that's going to unfold in Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama, and Tennessee. Now this is the 0Z. Now, these are several different storms that could produce these tornadoes. And the brighter the colors are, the stronger the updraft is of that supercell storm or whatever discrete cell, multi-cell cluster it is that could produce these tornadoes. And as you can see, even on a significant tornado parameter, you can obviously see, several different tornadic supercells within that line that's ahead of the main line in the warm sector area, which is very, very dangerous situation if they live in these areas. So I really do pray to Jesus that this downtrends, because there's no it can't uptrend any more than it already is, because it's at its max. It can't go beyond that. The atmosphere cannot sustain itself, or it can, but it will be very bad if it gets to that point. Excuse me. Even the National Weather Service, the Storm Prediction Center, put numerous significant tornadoes possible Saturday afternoon into the evening. It's just centered on eastern Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama. Like I said, widespread damaging wind swaths, scattered large hail is likely. And there's nothing coming good out of this at all. Nothing. Okay, so let's go to tomorrow's outlook. Alright. Okay, so let's go to tomorrow's outlook. Hold up, make sure. Oh, Lord. No, it's not too big. Okay, I'm about to say. Alright, so this is tomorrow's outlook from the Storm Prediction Center. A massive moderate risk. Level 4 to 5 risk, in effect. From southeastern Iowa all the way down to Tennessee and Arkansas. And then the massive enhanced risk from Iowa all the way down to central Mississippi or Jackson, Mississippi. So this is pretty significant tomorrow. And the main issue tomorrow will be those damaging winds, because there will be a line of destructive thunderstorms that could produce winds from 70 to 90 to possibly even 100 miles per hour. Possible derecho is looking possible. So if you're anywhere in these black dashed line areas within the yellow, the red, or even the pink colors, you have the threat of hurricane force winds or greater. 75 miles per hour or greater is at risk here. Even the National Weather Service, or Storm Prediction Center, has put widespread damage and wind gusts from 70 to 90 miles per hour is expected, with several tornadoes which could be strong. So there is also that tornado threat with that massive hatched 10% risk for 14 million people, which is insane. From Jackson, Mississippi, all the way to southeastern Iowa and almost northern Illinois. That's pretty significant if you say that to me. Make sure to comment any questions you'll have in the chat. Make sure to like the streams to help YouTube's algorithm push this out to more people. So yeah, tomorrow's looking pretty nasty as well. More on the destructive wind side of things, but then there'll also be a tornado issue as well down south, which just could be upgraded. The moderate risk could go down a little bit more further to the south with the morning update, I do believe. For that tornado risk might be a 50% hatched risk down into this area, even if it's a small area, because of how high those tornado probabilities are down there once those supercells start to fire up after that main line starts to die out. I might as well show y'all real quick that line that I'm talking about. Okay, let me go. Okay, there we go. Okay. Okay, so this is tomorrow afternoon at 4 p.m. Central Time, 3 or 4 p.m. Central Time, right? Okay, so as you can see, these storms fire up very rapidly. Because here's the low pressure right here. Here's the line of storms right here, right? Okay, and then they start to just rip through Iowa, Illinois, Missouri, with all those damaging, destructive winds. It'll be a very fast mover, and then once they get throughout central Iowa, if this decides to work tonight, central Iowa, it's pretty much this area, the line will start to weaken, and then it'll move into Michigan and, Indiana, and weaken significantly. So there might be a little isolated severe threat throughout Michigan and Iowa and Illinois, Indiana, if I could speak, but not really much of anything because it would be very weak. And then once that line weakens, we focus down here into southern Iowa, eastern Illinois, Tennessee, Kentucky, and northern Mississippi for those supercellular issues going on down there. For that would cause this hatch 10% risk area for those tornadoes, like I said. Show y'all real quick. And even a significant tornado parameter is pretty high, like you see down here. It's pretty high, like I said, throughout northern central Mississippi, throughout parts of northern Arkansas, western parts of Tennessee and Kentucky, southern Illinois. Yeah, it's pretty significant. Even some pretty strong cells, even all the way up to even almost central Illinois, if that's correct, which is pretty significant. That far north, especially this time of year. And then this main system skedaddles out the area, and then a new low forms, causing this significant tornado outbreak to occur, and then boom, all that bull crap craziness. Let's go to 3 column AM. Even the 3 kilometer AM, if I can zoom in, it's actually a lot more worse than the triple HR model. A lot more tornado ingredients there. And then boom. And then once that secondary low forms, Like I said, once this skedaddles out the area that causes all the damaging winds and some tornadoes to the south, that could be a few strong. Like I said, the secondary low forms and then causes like the worst case scenario you could think of for a tornado outbreak, which is very unfortunate. And I don't ever say things like that to scare y'all or to hype things up, but this is how things are, unfortunately. Like, I wish I didn't have to say that, but it looks like, excuse me, I was eating a little ice cream, but a pretty unfortunate issue. I wish I could sugarcoat it, but you can't sugarcoat this. Like, every single model is pointing at this issue. All of them agree. The modal issue of the storms, exact timing, if there'll be more supercells or not, if there'll be more multi-clustered cells, if it'll be more of a main line, or what if the storms form in the warm sector or not. But the environment that these storms are in do favor several destructive tornadoes and destructive winds, and even can rule out some large hail as well within some of the stronger supercells or thunderstorms in general. And this is pretty much like the thumbnail I had for this live stream. This is my opinion of, if I was a storm prediction center, this is what I have my outlook as. This is not the official outlook that the storm prediction center has, but this is my opinion on the issue. That I have a high risk throughout parts of Mississippi and Alabama. And then most of the part, I agree with the storm prediction center, except a few little minor changes, in my opinion, on what could happen. Now, y'all may think I'm just some idiot on TikTok or idiot on YouTube trying to hype crap up, but there's pretty much nothing to hype up at this point when you can't get much worse than what is shown right now, which is very unfortunate. And I don't just talk about this easily, because when I woke up this morning, it made me upset to see how pretty bad the situation is looking. The fact that all day long it's gotten a little bit gradually worse all day long with every model run and model update. Like, it's pretty sad issue going on down there that I wish was not happening, but what could you do about it? There's nothing you could do besides warn people about this issue to help potentially save lives. This is what my personal goal, and other meteorologists and storm chasers and weather enthusiasts and weather weenies are trying to do out here on TikTok, on Twitter, on YouTube, on Instagram, whatever platform you pretty much use. Okay. Okay. So, if you're new to the stream, I'm doing live severe weather coverage for, or forecast, not coverage yet, excuse me, my bad, for this potential tornado outbreak and destructive wind event tomorrow that will pretty much unfold. So, since we got some newer people up in here, let's re-talk about this a bit more. So, for tomorrow, this is the outlook from the National, or the Storm Prediction Center, excuse me, for what, Hold up, why is it? Hold up. Where on? Oh Lord, I gotta fix that camera real quick. My OBS is acting up. Oh Lord, my God. Okay. Okay, so it should be better now, hopefully. Let's see. There we go. Okay, so it fixed. Okay, let's make sure. Okay, so type in the chat if it's better. It should be at least. Okay, so the main threat tomorrow that's drawing that moderate risk is the 45% hatched risk area for those damaging winds. The Storm Prediction Center has already, even right here, as I highlighted, gusts from 70 to 90 miles per hour expected. Scattered gusts up to 90 miles per hour is expected. So this could be a possible Drake show if this is correct, and it pretty much is correct. I wouldn't be surprised if they had some, some reports of gusts over 90 miles per hour, 100 miles per hour, 110 miles per hour. Could be very easily with the system because of how extreme the shear is. And then for tomorrow, I have no words to say on it. I do, but I have to be careful what I said. I know I said a lot about this already on the stream a little bit earlier on, but this is a very dangerous, extremely dangerous day. The worst tornado outbreak in this area in a very, very long time, I think, in my opinion. So I pray to God that they know their plan to get out if they need to, if worst case scenario happens. And it could very well do so because of how extreme the environment is. Let me go to the deep south. Because this is the computer models right now. This is a 3-kilometer NAM, and this is significant tornado parameter. And as you can see, it's off the charts. Like, it goes up to a 10. One of the models, a HER model, which is the best model forecasting for the severe storm short term, goes up to a 29, a 30 indice on here, which it only goes up to a 10 as a max. And now that's saying something. Let me show y'all real quick. Okay. Look, as you can see down here, 29.96, pretty much a 30%. And as you can see, the max is a 10. That's how significant Saturday is going to be. Now, this isn't fake. This isn't hype. This isn't bullcrap I pulled out my butt. This is a sad reality that unfortunately this environment is going to look likely in throughout these areas. So I'm trying to warn as many people as I can possible. I'm not trying to scare people or cause anxiety, cause this or that, but this is how it is, unfortunately. I wish I could sugarcoat it, but there's nothing to sugarcoat because this is the worst case idea you can think of for a tornado outbreak, because there will be no ifs, ands, or buts. Several on-track tornadoes, violent tornadoes, numerous tornadoes. Even the National Weather Service has said so, and the Storm Prediction Center has said so. Right here. Numerous significant tornadoes. And they don't ever use those words often. So that's something significant to think about, for you to think about. And that is like over 30 million people in that threat. So that's pretty nasty setup going on that I really hope downtrends, because there's no way of it uptrending anymore if that's even humanly possible for the atmosphere to undertake. So if y'all have any questions, make sure to type it in the chat, because I know I still got a few people up in there. I know it's late, so I'm not going to have all these tons of people like I usually do, but hey, it's something at least. And then for tomorrow, I do want to mention this fire risk hazard throughout Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, Missouri, New Mexico, Colorado. Now, this is a rare issue going on. Now, this is because of all those winds from the storm system that's going to cause those destructive thunderstorms in Iowa, in Illinois, in Missouri, and Kentucky, and Tennessee tomorrow afternoon throughout the evening hours. Now, this is the highest probability there is for wildfires, which includes Oklahoma City, Tulsa, Oklahoma, Wichita, Lubbock, Dallas, Austin, San Antonio, Wichita, Kansas, Springfield, Missouri, Kansas City, Missouri. Like, this is very serious. Like, it's not just a severe weather side. There's a blizzard side to the system. There's a extremely dangerous, worst case scenario, fire danger risk. Like, I've never seen a huge risk like this in a very long time. Like, I don't even think there was extreme risk like this since the fires in Los Angeles. Like, that's how significant this could be. Now, I'm not saying it could be as bad as that. I'm just saying the risk of that magnitude of a fire like Los Angeles had could happen in these areas. That's why it is the extreme highest risk there is from the Storm Prediction Center. Okay. And I do also want to mention on Sunday there is another threat for those severe storms along the East Coast, which includes Virginia, the Carolinas, Georgia, northern part of Florida, including Jacksonville and a little bit of Tallahassee possibly, Virginia Beach, Richmond, Roanoke, Raleigh, Wilmington, Baltimore, Washington, D.C., Philadelphia, Scranton, even possibly New York City, but I doubt it. The Outer Banks, of course, are in that slight risk from the Storm Prediction Center for Sunday, the 16th of March. Could possibly be upgraded to an enhanced risk due to those damaging winds of these storms. But other than that, I don't think it's going to get much worse than that. Tornado-wise, it could be a little tornado threat as well. But other than that, I don't think it's going to be pretty significant. Okay. Yeah, so this storm's going to cause crap tons of wind. Okay. So type in the chat if y'all have any questions. Feel free to ask them, and I'll answer them for y'all. Because I'm not doing much. It's pretty much a chill stream. Pretty much like Queso, where I'm just chill and just do whatever. Play some horror games, playing just whatever. But for me, I'm doing the weather instead of games. So yeah, my bad. I'm joking. Okay. All right. All right. Make sure to like the stream to help push us out to the YouTube algorithm. Comment questions y'all have. It's a pretty chill stream for y'all. I'll answer any questions y'all have on the severe weather. A pretty significant dangerous days are coming starting tomorrow with this outlook that the Storm Prediction Center has for tomorrow, the 14th, and then for the 15th. It's going to be even worse potentially for a very prolific, significant, massive tornado outbreak is looking likely. I don't like to say words like that, but there's nothing to sugarcoat at this point because the models are at their maximum for the tornado probabilities there is humanly possible for weather computer models to give us. And that's why it's a very dangerous situation, emergency situation that's eventually going to happen coming Saturday and potentially even tomorrow for those destructive thunderstorms that'll cause like gusts up to 90, 100 miles per hour throughout Iowa, Illinois, Missouri, Kentucky, and Tennessee, and then possible some other tornadoes into Kentucky, Tennessee, and northern central Mississippi, eastern Arkansas tomorrow night as well. Go back to y'all of that real quick. As you see, there's a hatch 10% risk area there. That's from central Mississippi all the way up to southeastern Iowa. Excuse me, my allergies are acting up. My bad. Okay. Excuse me. Okay, so, and then, like I said, mainly the wind driven, but then there's also, I forgot to mention, the hail threat. Some significant large hail could fall throughout some of these clusters of cells or supercells down to the south into northern Mississippi. But the highest probability area for those large hail is within that red area, hatched red area throughout parts of western Iowa, eastern Missouri, and southwestern Kentucky and northwestern Tennessee, which includes Jackson, Memphis, Springfield, Jefferson City, St. Louis, Little Rock, Jackson, and many more areas. And then I can't stress enough for if y'all been here for longer than 10 minutes, I can't stress enough this Saturday, because this Saturday is gonna be so bad. Like, it's not even a joke. And I don't like to cause people to cause anxiety or fear or whatever, like some of these idiots do on TikTok or YouTube or whatever, that just say a bunch of bull crap that they have no idea what they're talking about because they're not a meteorologist or someone who's interested in meteorology or weather in general that actually know what they're talking about, which I know what I'm talking about. I'm not one of those idiots who just blurt out this bull crap and try to scare y'all or whatever, or to get views because they want to get views. I don't do that. So that's the reason for y'all to subscribe, by the way, if y'all haven't already. Because I'm for y'all. I don't like those people on TikTok or YouTube or whoever that just say a bunch of bull crap and they get tons of views, and it's like turns out to be like completely nothing. Like, this situation, I wish it was that way. But unfortunately, with this situation, there's nothing to sugarcoat. Unfortunately, I could, but there's gonna be bad tornadoes, unfortunately, for these regions coming up Saturday. So, like I said, type in the chat if y'all have any questions, comments, concerns, and I'll answer them for y'all. So I hope y'all having a good evening tonight, and if y'all live in these areas, I hope y'all will be alright. I pray that y'all will be alright, because this isn't an okay issue. This is pretty dangerous. And it did upset me this morning when I saw it on the models. Well, starting yesterday, the day before that, it started to upturn a bit, and I was like, okay, here we go. And then today is like showing like the worst case possible scenario for this unfortunate thing. Okay. Okay. How you doing, More Art? Welcome to stream. And I also want to mention I will be live tomorrow afternoon and evening, and part of Saturday, because I had to fit that in with my work schedule, unfortunately, because this is a second job to me, and I also have another job that I attend to. So, and I happen to be a supervisor of my other job that I have to go to. So, yeah. Okay. So y'all feel free to ask any questions y'all have, comments, concerns. And Ryan Hall, y'all will also be live tomorrow afternoon. He said starting tomorrow afternoon, all the way. He said he might even stream all the way throughout Sunday. Sunday's looking a little significant as well for the East Coast. So we'll just have to see what happens. It'd be cool if I was on Ryan's stream though. Because he obviously hires new meteorologists. I should ask him, not gonna lie. That'd be lit, not gonna lie. With Andy Hill and a few others on his team. David Schlofhauer is good too. He asked me he asked me to join his team of meteorologists, and I haven't decided on it yet because I have a few other people as well asking, which is crazy. But y'all can ask questions in the chat if y'all would like, because I'll answer them freely with no hesitation, because this is serious. Yeah, and this is the shear as well. The shear's gonna be pretty nasty on these storms, as you can see. The max is 104 knots. Even though that 104 knots is more likely right in here, but even right in these areas right here where those storms are, it's still pretty high. At least 80 to 90 knots of shear, which is freaking insane. Sorry, I'm just texting. Figuring out something. Okay. I don't have much to talk about now when I think about it. So I might end the stream here in a little bit. Unless you'll ask a few questions that I'll freely answer for y'all. See, yeah, they have the updates on the outlooks. Oops, my bad. In a few hours, actually. Okay, I think I'm gonna end the stream here for tonight, y'all. So I'll be back tomorrow afternoon, starting the stream. I don't know what time tomorrow afternoon exactly, but it'll be sometime tomorrow. Excuse me, throughout the evening too. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't, and check out my TikTok as well, because I got pretty good numbers on TikTok, more than on YouTube, if you believe it or not. So yeah, because I don't have much to talk about. I've been live for almost an hour now, talking about just in general, just the situation with the severe weather wise, and also briefly about the fire weather hazard as well, because that's pretty serious too. Because we can't leave out any weather-related things that are pretty serious. Not just the severe weather, but also the winds and the fire risk, excuse me. I'm tired, chat. I'm tired. It's gonna be a long 3 days of this severe weather. A long 3 days. Alright, so I'm just going to stream for tonight. I'll talk to y'all tomorrow afternoon when I start streaming up again. I'll have hopefully a lot more people in reach. I've been getting pretty strong reach on TikTok the past few days, getting tens of thousands of views. Probably about almost 100,000 views. I know a few people on TikTok. Well, not know them personally, but just a few weather enthusiasts or whatever. Easily got like 500,000 views, which is insane. On just some carousels, which I do as well. Those in some videos. Okay. So, y'all have a good night. Peace out.